Lord, you catch me when I'm falling.
Hi guys, my name's Hannah Myers. I go to Liberty and I graduated from Wilson Memorial High School, and this is my story. My dad, he was a missionary when he was in college to the Philippines, and that's where I met my mom. And it took a lot of money for him to bring her back and everything. And so growing up, we didn't have much money, and I actually grew up in a trailer park till I was in about 7th grade. Um, Growing up, it didn't really bother me. I didn't really know like the difference, and I was really bold about my faith. My parents were really strong Christians, and they really helped me with my walk with Christ. And I was really bold about my faith, and I would just go around, tell my like trailer park friends, and I'd invite them to church, and I wasn't ashamed at all. And it wasn't until I was about 12 that I started to realize my economic situation, and I started to become really embarrassed about it. And I still was like trying to bring people to church, and I still cared about my faith, but I started just to really become self-conscious about who I was, and I actually changed churches when I was about that age too, when I was 12, and I saw the cliques because I was homeschooled. When I was in 5th to 7th grade, I got homeschooled, so I didn't really see it around the homeschoolers. But when I went to this new church, I saw like all these cliques and like all the cool girls, and I became really, really self-conscious about who I was, and it changed me, and I started to, I don't know, like I wasn't nice. No, I was still nice, but I wasn't as nice to people in the trailer park because I started to see like the difference, like economically, and I wanted to be a cool girl, and I started to become really, really obsessed with like popularity and trying to fit in. Um, during that middle school stage, I know a lot of people go through that, but like it really bothered me that I was in a trailer park, and I always asked God. I was like, God, like, why did you place me here? I'm not like, the other kids. Like, I have two parents. A lot of the kids in the trailer park, they didn't have like a mom or a dad, or their parents, were on drugs, or like a lot of things like that. But I felt like I lived in a normal family, and I would always wonder. I was like, God, I don't understand like why you can't, provide for us. You always said that you'd provide for us, but I didn't feel that. And I just became really concerned with just things that weren't important in life. Um, then finally, when I was in 8th grade, I started, I went to the new middle school that was just built, and my dad actually, he, one of the reasons why we had to stay in the trailer parks because my dad was sick throughout when I was little, so he couldn't get like a really good job. But eventually he finally got his engineering job, and we got to move. And so I went back to public school, and because my mom also had to work. And I went back to middle school, and it was 8th grade, and that is just when things went really bad. Like, when you're in 8th grade, like, that's really all you can think of is, like, fitting in and finding your friends. And, being homeschooled, going back to public school, like, I didn't have many friends, so I just wanted the attention from everyone. And I hadn't really, dated any boys yet, but when I went back to school, like, I started to get attention from boys, and I hadn't had that, and because, homeschool, you don't really meet that many people. But I started to get a lot of attention from all these boys, and it was just this crazy cool feeling for me, and I loved it, and I craved it, and I just kept doing, things that would get guys' attention. And I mean, that's another thing I struggled with. Like, when I was younger, like, I didn't feel, beautiful. I know a lot of girls struggle with that too, and that's something I still have to tell myself, that you are beautiful no matter what Hollywood defines you. You're very beautiful, and that's one thing that I'm still working on. Um, and anyway, so in 8th grade, like, I felt beautiful for once in my life because of all this attention, and I just wanted to keep feeding that attention and feeding that attention. And so I started, like I said, dating these boys. And, compared to other people, like, I thought I was still a good kid. I wasn't doing this and doing that. But I wasn't supposed to date till I was like 16. And so I was going behind my parents' back doing it. And that really put a strain on our whole family. And it was in a point where my mom was really, really stressed because, she was working again. And she felt like she was not being the mom that she should be because I was being rebellious. And it really put a strain on her and I's relationship. And we, started to fight all the time because she couldn't trust me and I wasn't listening to her. And I would just do all these things that would just, it was just stupid stuff, but I would be the one who would always start it. And, I really regret it. And I feel horrible about all the things that I did to my mom. But I really hurt her, and to this day it still hurts me to think of it. But anyways, so I started to do that, and my mom and dad would fight over it because they wouldn't know how to deal with me, and I wouldn't listen. And so that was, my 8th grade year. And during the time when I was like so consumed about my appearance and what guys thought about me and fitting in, I completely neglected my friends that I had made throughout my childhood at the trail park. I didn't really care like about them anymore, and I didn't want anything to do with them. And I just left that life behind me. I didn't tell anyone where I came from. Like, I was really ashamed about that part of my life. And I would see the kids, at school sometimes, but I'd say hi, but that's pretty much it. And I just went on with my 8th grade life trying to fit in. It wasn't until freshman year when things kind of sort of changed, but not dramatically. I started to go to Young Life, and that actually really helped me with my walk with Christ. I felt like I was getting back on track, but, I was still dating these guys when my parents didn't want me to, so my relationship with my mom was still really bad. And I went to a Young Life camp over the summer, and that's when I really decided, and I realized how badly I was treating my mom and what it was doing to her and our relationship and our whole family. And I was like, I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to listen to my mom, and I'm going to try to, make everything better. And I wish I could say that it got better, but it didn't. I went back and, you're on this high after camp and you're like, oh, I'm going to do all these things, but I was relying on myself, and I was like, I'm going to fix this and I'm going to do this, when I wasn't really turning to God for, the help that I really needed. So I tried my best, to fix my relationship with my mom. And at first, like, it was going well, but then I went back to school, and then the same things happened. You're with your friends, you want to fit in. And I had great friends. We weren't doing anything like that I regret. It's just I was still consumed about what everyone thought about me. And I was still dating these guys, and then I broke up with one, and then I started dating another one. And I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to date anymore until, my parents agree, and that didn't happen. And so eventually I broke up with the last boyfriend I was with, and I haven't dated anyone since, I guess, junior year. And my relationship with my mom is much better now, but the reason for that is because my junior year, I finally went to, over the summer, I went to Work Crew. That's a Young Life thing, and I was there for a month. And God really just changed my heart and opened my eyes to see just how selfish I've been with just my time and everything that I've consumed my mind with. And I just got to see, like, all these people's lives changed, and how, like, giving back was so much more important than just doing all these fun things and, fitting in. I didn't have to fit in because, I realized that, high school is just a small portion of my life, but what I really wanted to do with my life in the long run was just to help, people and be who I am in Christ and not worry about, like, what other people think. So I went back home and I realized, I was like, God, I'm really sorry that I've neglected all my friends in the trailer park, and I finally got back in touch with them after like three years, and it was like really great. It was almost like we had never departed from each other. Our friendship picked right back up, and I got to help all these kids that really just needed to be loved because they don't have, you know, a parent, or they're just going through like so much. And I had realized that how blessed I am, even though like I grew up in a trailer park, and you know, I felt like my childhood didn't consist of like what normal kids, you know, get to do, like go to Disney World or all those things. um, and I have been able to see like all my friends from the trailer park that I've invested my time in, like their lives have changed so much. And I realize now like why God put me there. You know, I wouldn't have been able to interact with those people if I wasn't, you know, if I didn't grow up with them. And I've gotten to bring them to Young Life, and their lives are just on a much better track now. And I'm just really thankful. And now I am at college, and I am still, you know, I still struggle with the same things, but I have people in my life that, you know, encourage me, and I have God just, you know, He just loves me so much, and doing my devotions just really helps. And I just have so many people in my life that share my faith and just help me in my walk with Christ. And I am now going to lead Young Life, and that's going to start next semester. So I'm really happy about that. But yes, thanks for watching. That's my story.
Indescribable, uncontainable. You place the stars in the sky and you know them by name. You are amazing, God.
I just want to say thanks to Hannah again for sharing her story with us. It's great how God revealed to her later on in her life that He was using her for a kingdom her whole life. One of Hannah's favorite verses is Song of Songs 4:7 for you ladies out there. For the rest of you, I just want you to check out the YouTube channel and the Facebook channel on the link below. Just give us some feedback and comments on it. We want you to be part of this movement. Have a great day. Okay.